All right, thank you. Traffic, obnoxious coworkers, present company excluded, of course, and crazy schedules are three things you wouldn't have to deal with if you worked from home. And if that's something you've always wanted to do but didn't really know how, our next expert is about to help you out. Working Solutions is a work-at-home contact center solutions provider based in Dallas, and Kim Houlne is the founder and chief executive officer. Good morning to you, Kim.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to see you and to meet you because you're a true entrepreneur. You started this 23 years ago. Tell me a little bit about your story.
So you talked about horrific commutes. I was commuting from Omaha, Nebraska to Seattle.
Wow.
And that was a pretty tough commute, huh? So
yes.
Back and forth every weekend. And I happened to get pregnant. We happened to get pregnant with our first child. I said, you know what, there's got to be something a little bit better than, I think my child had more frequent flyer miles than I did growing up. So I said, there's got to be something different, right? We've got to figure this out. I said, I think what we're doing, or what I'm doing, I can do from home.
Right.
The technology had just started, and it was possible where it hadn't been possible in the past. So I put my head together, my husband and I kind of created a new idea, and
the rest is history.
23 years later, here we are.
Let's talk a little bit about what Working Solutions is. How does it work?
So I like to say we were gig before the gig economy. We provide folks, agents we call them, support, who can actually work with different customers and clients from all over the country. But it's all home-based. So you work from home on your telephone or your computer, all of your equipment, and then you're providing support, whether it be sales, tech support, or even customer care to thousands of customers out there just from your home.
All right, well, let's talk about some of the key benefits your agents report as far as working from home. What do they like best?
Well, as you can imagine, flexibility is going to be key, right? There are a lot of folks out there who cannot actually leave the house. They either have a medical problem or they're actually working with a family member that has a medical problem that requires them to have that flexibility. No longer can people work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. No longer can people work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A work day is not Monday through Friday. So I think most of the folks tell me by far this gives them the most flexibility and the most control over any other position they've ever had before in their lives.
Well, let's talk about skill sets though. What are some key skill sets agents need to have before they decide to do a work-based job?
Well, as you can,
a home-based job, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, we work from home. As you can imagine, technology is very key. So you certainly have to have a functioning system with high-speed internet access, a dedicated phone line, a very quiet working space. This isn't daycare. This is an actual job that you're going to take on during the day. You're going to be working with very important customers, and we need you to be on top of it, dedicated and focused. But primarily, you need to have the equipment, you need to have the will and the skill to be able to do this on your own.
All right, well, I think that's a very good point. Making sure that you've got all the tools necessary, you've got the right resources available to you, but that you also have the ability to not be distracted by, say, loads of laundry. You know, what might be happening in the house. Staying focused is important, and that needs to be a skill set.
That's right, and it's not for everybody. Although we have thousands of folks out there that are doing this, there are some folks who actually have to do a load of laundry. They get a little distracted. They have to go make a sandwich, and they find that their time is starting to get consumed with chores and tasks. But you certainly need to stay on task, stay focused, be responsible, be dedicated, and be passionate about your customers.
All right, so as an independent contractor, what are some things you need to be aware of and watch out for before you commit to it at a home-based company?
So for years and years, when I started the company 23 years ago, everything work from home was a scam. Then we gained some credibility as the gig economy started to pick up. But now those scams are starting to come back into play. So you're finding people fishing for people on Google Hangouts and Facebook pages, or Facebook groups, I should say. So be leery and actually be smart. Companies have regular email addresses. They don't go by AOL.com and they don't go by all of these other, hotmails. They're going to have their company URL at the end of their email address, and call that company or look on their website. Look for the senior leaders of that team to make sure that this is something that is really for you and that it's not a scam, that they're not going to ask you to send $20 or $200 or in some cases $1,000 to work. You don't want to pay to work.
You don't need to be enamored by a slick website. You need to take it upon upon yourself to do additional investigation. I think that is important. Is there a specific time of year which is best to start applying?
So for customer care, right now is the time. As you know, there are a lot of companies out there looking for thousands of people. We're one of them. We need thousands of people because we've got these fantastic customers out there who absolutely need support of all of our agents. So we start building up. This time of year is really super important. Now, customer care is all year round, right? You're never going to be without customer care.
But this is a good time of year to begin.
This is a great time
to do it. All right, so
it.
how can viewers apply?
So you'll want to go to jobs.workingsaw.com/WFAA. I think we've got it up there on the screen somewhere. And you'll want to go through the assessment process. There's a couple little steps that you're going to need to take. There is a background check involved, so make sure that all of that is clear. That'll all take place. You'll go through assessments, and then somebody will reach out to you.
Fantastic. This is great information. I appreciate you being here. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
For more information about Working Solutions or to apply, go to jobs.workingsolutions.com/WFAA.